Hi there, welcome back. This is Ms. Johnson's ELA mini lesson, and today we are going to talk about the main idea. What I would like you to do is grab your weather and climate book and open up to page 6 and 7. So today what we're going to do for our pre-read of our new text is we're going to do a graphic feature walk. So if I hold up my text, there are multiple different types of graphic features. So this is kind of the paragraphs, those are the texts, but we're going to look at other parts of the text. So title is called Earth's Weather and Climate. So I think that this article, this text is going to be about Earth's weather and climate. On this page, I have 3 different types of clouds. So I see cumulus and nimbus, which we have a connection to from our poem. Those were some of the words that we read about before. And then there's another one. So I see clouds. So I'm thinking in my head, maybe this article is about clouds. Then it says cloud type. That's a heading of this paragraph right here. I'm not going to read the paragraph right now. We're just doing a graphic feature walk. So now I see a picture. Looks like there's water and it's measuring something. This I can connect with, looks like a way to measure temperature. So these are 2 photographs. There's a caption right here. 2 important factors that determine climate are air temperature and precipitation. So I'm learning some new words. Maybe I don't know what those words are, but I'm just graphic feature walking through. This is a table. Table is titled Temperature and Precipitation Chart. So in this table, it talks about the temperature and the precipitation. There's a caption right here that you can read. Turn to page 8 and 9. So this is on page 8 and 9. On page 8, I see a world map. So another text feature is a map. And it says Earth's climate zones. So it's talking about climate. So I see that we're talking about clouds, we're talking about temperature, we're talking about climate. All right? And then on this page right here, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 different pictures. And the pictures say tropical wet, arid, polar ice, and humid continental. Okay, so we just did a graphic feature walk, which means we just looked at all the different types of graphic features. One last thing I want to point out is on page 9, at the very top, it says that this is an informational science. So this is an informational text about science things. So now that we've done our graphic feature walk, what we're going to be doing is getting into the main portion of our lesson, which is the main idea. So we kind of have an idea of what this text is going to be about. The main idea is going to be kind of our focus, okay? So if you look at my chart right here, it says main idea, the most important idea about a topic, the big idea, what is the text mostly about? So I have a picture of a stool, okay? The main idea is the top of the stool. It's the kind of the big part of our stool. And down here on the bottom, the legs of their stool are the details that support the main idea. It supports it because it's holding up the main idea. So some supporting details can be who, what, when, why, how, and where. So those are the supporting details that feed into the main idea, which is the big idea. So some ways that you can find the main idea is by reading the title, by reading the subheadings, by reading the first sentence and reading the last sentence of a text or a paragraph. And you can also ask, what is the text about? If you ask, what is the text mostly about? Okay? So today for us finding the main idea, what we're going to do is we are going to read certain paragraphs and look for the main idea of each paragraph. So you can determine the main idea for a whole entire text or a whole entire story or small little paragraphs. We're going to start with small little paragraphs first, okay? And we're going to kind of follow some of these steps in order to determine the main idea. So turn to page 6 of your text. All right, so what we're going to be doing first is we are going to be reading paragraph 1 of our text. As we're reading, what I like to do is take a pencil or a pen, and I like to highlight things that are important to me. What you're going to be highlighting right now are the supporting details, the key details. You're going to be highlighting or underlining the supporting details because that is the stuff that holds the main idea together. You'll use the details to kind of determine the main idea. So, paragraph 1. What is weather like right now? I can stop and look at the weather right now. Mine is sunny. Doesn't really tell me what the main idea, it's not really a supporting detail, so I'm not going to underline it and I'm going to keep going. Weather describes the atmosphere's conditions in a certain place at a given moment in time. I'm going to circle the word weather and I'm going to underline. Describes the weather condition of a certain place. Climate is different. Okay, I got a new word, climate, not going to underline yet. It says climate describes the average weather patterns of the place over long periods of time. So I'm going to circle climate and underline describes the weather patterns of the place over long periods of time. Climate describes the average weather of the seasons. I'm going to underline weather of the seasons. It also describes possible weather extremes like tornadoes, hurricanes, droughts, or rainy periods. So you can underline weather extremes. This is talking about climate. Weather can change from minute to minute, hour to hour, and day to day. So weather can change. And then I'm gonna keep reading. Climate is determined by tracking a region's weather patterns for decades. So I'm gonna underline climate is determined by tracking regions' weather patterns for decades. Okay, we're gonna stop there and we're gonna try and determine the main idea. So I want you to turn to, in your home school work packet, to this page. And we're going to read the directions. It says, read Earth's weather and climate and annotate key details, then complete the chart with key details and with the main idea of each section. Okay, so we are going to focus on paragraph 1 by writing down some key details. Some things that you underlined, I would like you to write down in the key details section. Go ahead and do that now. Okay, so after you're done writing down the key details, we're going to determine the main idea. We're going to follow a couple of these steps. Read the title, we've done that. We're doing paragraphs, we're not going to worry about that. Read subheadings, I don't see any subheadings. You can read first sentence, last sentence, or what is the text mostly about? So what is the text mostly about? It is mostly about two specific words, weather and climate. The main idea of this paragraph is to tell the reader the difference between weather and climate. So write down your main idea statement on the main ideas. Go. All right, now we're going to get into paragraph 2. What's going to happen is I will read the text out loud, and I would like you to underline key details and then go write them in your graphic organizer. Here we go. How do scientists track these weather patterns? Scientists measure different weather features. They measure air temperature, which is how hot or cold a place is. They measure the amount of precipitation that falls as rain, snow, or sleet from the sky. They also measure other factors such as wind, humidity, and cloud cover. Scientists use different tools to measure these factors. They record their measurements and observations. Then they use the data to figure out the weather patterns of a region. Using this information, they can define the climate type. All right, so I've read the paragraph, you've underlined. Now I would like you to go write some key details in your paragraph. After you're done writing the key details, we're going to talk about the main idea. So looking at the text, I see a couple different things. I see the word scientist over and over. So this paragraph is mostly about the scientists. Scientists doing what? Scientists collecting data about weather. So the main idea is talking about how scientists collect data about weather to measure the weather. Okay, so now we are on to paragraph 3, which is on page 8. Turn to page 8. Same thing as last time. What we're going to do is I will read the paragraph out loud. you will underline and highlight and circle, and then you will write the key details on your graphic organizer. Let's go. Some climates are hot and rainy. Others tend to be cold and dry. These different climates are caused by different factors. For example, regions closer to the equator receive more direct sunlight. As a result, they tend to be warmer. Places closer to water have more moisture or humidity in the air. As a result, they tend to get more rainfall. Regions far from the equator tend to be cold. Places far from the water tend to be dry. All right, so I read the paragraph. Now go write some key details in your graphic organizer. And after you've written your key details, we're going to determine the main idea. So this one, luckily, has kind of a map above that shows Earth's climate zones. And the paragraph talked about different climates happen in different parts of the world. So that's the main idea. The main idea, what is the text mostly about? What is that paragraph mostly about? The paragraph is about how different places in the world have different climates based off of where they're placed. If you're closer to the equator, you're hot. Further away, you get colder. All right? So go write the main idea in your graphic organizer. Now, this last part is not actually on your graphic organizer, but I want you to go do it anyway. Turn to page 9, and you are going to read, you are going to underline, you are going to write the main idea in the margin right here. So use all the strategies that we've been doing in this whole lesson and do it for paragraph 4. Go now. You can also look at the graphic feature below paragraph 4 that has the 4 different pictures of the 4 different climates, and that'll kind of help you out. So read paragraph 4 by yourself, underline, and rate the main idea. You can look at the graphic feature. Finally, on our graphic organizer, we are going to answer the question on the bottom. This question has 2 parts. First, answer part A, then part B. Part A, which is the best main idea for paragraph 1? So it's talking only about paragraph 1. Which details support the main idea? Choose all that apply. All that apply might mean 1, might mean 2, might mean 3, might mean 4, might mean 5. You have to figure it out. Go ahead and do that, and then log it onto your homeschool log.